Have you played Dungeons & Dragons? It's a tabletop role-playing game where you and your friends lie to each other that you're actually characters in fantasy worlds. In those fantasy worlds, there are monsters. One monster is called a mind flayer, which can read your mind and eat your brain. They're a classic baddie from all the way back in D&D's first edition, and people must like tentacles because they're still popular in the latest 5th edition. Popular enough to get a big chapter in the supplement book, The Lords of Madness, about all your favorite aberrations. You can learn all about how mind flayers reproduce, and their religion, and their society. My favorite part is right here, the performance-eating arena. There are only so many brains to go around, so the mind flayer who's best at eating brains gets on stage with a nice fresh one, still in the skull. While they eat it, they telepathically transfer the sensations to the audience. The combination of reading minds and publicly eating brains makes, I think, an awesome RPG monster, and a morbid metaphor for videos like the one you're watching right now. If you don't want to jump out an airplane, you can watch someone jump out an airplane here on YouTube. If you don't want to travel to another country, you can watch someone's travelogues here on YouTube. If you don't want to play a video game, you can watch someone play it and talk about it here on YouTube. It's more than YouTube. We can also get secondhand experience through books and TV and stuff. But in our modern online world, I think YouTube is the best example of an actual factual performance-eating arena. There are just too many experiences to experience. We can experience more experiences by delegating. The best person to delegate to is someone who betters the experience. I don't think I can look at this anymore, so let's talk about storytelling specifically. Star Wars Episode 9 is over 2 hours long. Red Letter Media's review of Star Wars Episode 9 is 70 minutes, half the runtime. Jenny Nicholson has spent well over 4 hours discussing the movie and several alternate scripts. Summing the duration of all these videos, it wouldn't be surprising if someone who's seen The Rise of Skywalker multiple times has still spent more time watching content about the movie. The point is, human beings don't just consume content. They also turn around and vomit that content onto each other in new ways, describing their own take and even their own take of other people's takes. I'm listing a lot of YouTubers here, but obviously the practice of commenting on art has been around as long as art. More words have been written about the Odyssey than are written in the Odyssey. After all, a story stops being written eventually. Responses to a story can continue indefinitely. We can't just enjoy stories. We need to talk about them and listen to people talk about them. Stories move from the writer's brain to the reader's brain to the listener's brain. Listening is easier than reading because your reaction is handed to you. The smallest form of this I can think of is memes, which have a reply included in the image. Someone, somewhere, produced an iota of content. Someone else, somewhere else, consumed that content and is sharing it with you pre-chewed, with reaction included. Sometimes that's just what we're looking for. Sometimes we want to hear about stories we haven't even consumed. Do you want to see that new movie? What are the trailers like? But a trailer is the movie pre-chewed by the people making the movie. We can't trust that. If a review makes it sound fun, then let's watch it. If a movie sounds too scary, I might not want to see it, but my morbid curiosity might still lead me to look for descriptions of exactly what happens in intricate detail. On the opposite side of the coin, if you like a video enough to watch it enough to get bored of it, you can watch someone else react to it for the first time. If you think such reaction videos are silly, you can watch someone explain why it's silly. But honestly, I kinda get it. I like sharing videos with friends and seeing how they react. Reaction YouTubers are those friends outsourced to the public eating arena. But not all reactions are created equal. Rotten Tomatoes lists reviews from ordinary mortals like you and me, and from professional critics. A professional critic is supposed to be better at consuming content, like a mind flayer who's better at eating brains. And we consume the sensation of consuming the content telepathically through the critic's text. If we like that sensation, maybe we'll consume the content ourselves. Art is re-eatable brains. But without real telepathy, ordinary mortals like you and me have to take professional critics with a grain of salt. My tastes won't align with the tastes of any given critic, so I might love a movie they hate or vice versa. A movie's producers can let certain critics see the movie first, under special conditions, so reviews would be skewed on opening weekend. Without real telepathy, we can't trust anyone on stage at the performance-eating arena. But mind flayers don't have it easy either. Mind flayer societies are ruled by elder brains. When a mind flayer dies, their brains are added to the elders. The elder brains tell the mind flayers that dead mind flayers live on like this. They're lying. Elder brains get the information, but the mind flayer themselves, their personhood, that's gone for good. The elder brains get more use out of their underlings if they think they're part of something big. And they get some bread in circuses. Brains in circuses. Even if telepathy would let us share information perfectly, the real power of telepathy is apparently using it to lie. Think about any religion that hides its holy book from the public eye. If the Lord's word is in a language known only by a select few, then they decide what interpretation of the Lord's word makes it from the pulpit to the pews. That's by design. Maybe there are passages they don't want laymen to take out of context. But it's dystopian. They can make their own context, and even their own passages. And I don't mean to bust on religion here. It's just an easy example of something which happens all around us and inside us. In your own bodily cells, your DNA isn't freely available. It's kept in the nucleus, densely folded, and it only gets to leave as RNA, purposeful instructions for complicated proteins. There's great biological benefit in withholding the complete material from the lay ribosomes and releasing select portions of it. In politics, no one can know about everything everywhere. A politician who tells people what's up with the world hopefully has all the best information, but they can choose to be selectively aware or outright lie for the benefit of anyone who would be inconvenienced by the truth. Always be suspicious of your elder brains, because they're only pretending to know what's best for you. In Why Everyone Else is a Hypocrite, Robert Kurtzman describes how our brains, the brains mind flayers eat, are made of modules which aren't entirely honest with one another. We're tricked by optical illusions because objectively real vision isn't what's best for survival. Evolutionarily speaking, it's been best to be strategically wrong about what reality really looks like. That sounds weird, but think about your car's mirror that says objects in mirror are closer than they appear. Objective reality, the image in the mirror, doesn't provide the information we need to make the best decisions. Ideally, instead of slapping a warning label on there, we'd make a mirror which would lie to us by making traffic look like it's as close as it really is. These brain modules which lie to get the best results explain the human tendency for self-deception. We lie better to each other if we lie to ourselves. We say lying is bad, but strategic inaccuracy is dishearteningly effective. Mind Flayer society is brutal, unforgiving, and ruthless. Elder brains make it that way by selectively allowing how information passes from one mind to another. That's reality. Scary, huh? But look who's talking. If you believe me that you can't really trust anyone because biologically speaking they're certainly lying to themselves, then you must believe the same about me and myself. I can eat an artist's brain for you by talking about movies and books and tabletop role-playing games, but I can only eat that brain from my own perspective, reducing pop culture to philosophical rambling by overthinking. That's all I do here at Thinkster, my little performance-eating arena. I've started writing a sequel to my book Akayama Danje about giant anime space robots which destroy and rebuild the Earth, because I've heard a sequel in the works looks good on a query letter. I want Akayama Danje Blind Faith to be at least 50% more pretentious than the first one. Check out ted-writes.com if you want to read it. Bye-bye!